It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. Know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out Podcast, episode, 406. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
I was like, you asking me or you telling me?
I couldn't remember, and I just created the file, so you'd think I'd know.
You've had a busy day.
I have had a busy day.
You started your new job today.
I did. Yay. It was fun.
Yeah. So
you forgot to say who you are.
Oh, this is Tom.
Okay. Now we got that covered.
Well, they're probably waiting for the day that you get sick of me and I get replaced.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
And then all of a sudden it's Crystal and some other guy. And they're just like, yeah, that tracks. Like, I'm surprised that lasted as long as it did. Don't blame her.
You're so silly. That's not true.
So what, pray tell, do you have in store for people this week?
Well, it has been quite the week. It's been a weird week. So we're going to talk about Peloton's newest marketing campaign. We're also going to talk about the water leak that closed Peloton. There's been a lot of different celebrations this week.
A lot.
Yeah. And so we're going to cover those. We're also going to talk about the newest store closings that happened. There's also new Chase offers we're going to talk through.
Chase Tucker, country music superstar?
It's not him.
Oh, okay.
It's a different Chase. We're going to talk about this brand new product, the Bike Plus Plus. We're going to talk about that.
Bike Plus Plus.
And then we have tons of instructor in the news. Camila's new podcast. Katie Wong and Rad Lopez are pickling up the joint. We're going to talk about the newest instructor to be in the GQ magazine. Artist series, celebrity sightings, and content galore.
Awesome. Well, before we get to all that shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on iHeart. How did they get to the top of the list?
I don't know.
They don't deserve to be at the top of the list.
Put them down.
I'm pushing them down.
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts.
There you go.
I was wanting to say iTunes, but you can't say that anymore.
No, it's not allowed.
Yeah. They take away 2 downloads every time you say iTunes. So now they'll take away 4 because I just said iTunes twice.
Stop it. Stop saying the names.
Apple Podcasts.
There you go.
Spotify.
Shoo.
They haven't changed their name.
No.
iHeart.
Okay.
TuneIn. The Zune Store.
No. Talk about not existing anymore.
MySpace Music.
Never a thing.
Friendster.
Okay.
Wherever you get a podcast, you can find us. While you're there,
half of those weren't it.
No. But if they have podcasts there, we should theoretically be there.
In theory.
While you're there, leave us a review. That's super helpful. You can find us on Facebook.
Also, give us a follow.
Yeah. Yeah, that part too.
Yeah.
I'm all kerfluffled.
I know.
Getting all the things wrong.
Well, you're not getting them wrong. It's just
leaving things out.
Yeah.
Which is wrong.
Well, okay.
This is why people expect another person to be sitting in this chair. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/theclipout. While you're there, like the page, join the group. You can check out our Patreon if you want to support the show. Goes into Crystal's legal fund.
No. It supports the show.
So it's $5 a month. You get all sorts of bonus content. You get ad-free episodes. And if we get them early, you get them early. This week over on the Patreon, we're going to be talking about an article from The Atlantic called Why We Do Hard Things, the Effort Paradox.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It's no paradox for me. I don't do effort. An HOA Karen complaining about someone doing yoga on their back porch. That's not a euphemism.
No, it's not.
And where are instructor laptops?
Where did they go?
And we'll talk about that. And we'll also give you some reviews for kettlebell classes.
There you go.
And Adrian's 5-day split. So that's all over on the bonus episode. $5 a month, you get 4 of them.
Yeah.
It's $1.25 an episode.
It's true.
Yeah. So also, you can sign up for our newsletter at theclipout.com where you'll get all the links and stuff sent to you mostly weekly. And then you can watch us over on YouTube. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
Peloton is rolling out a new marketing campaign called Find Your Push, Find Your Power to tie into their new Lamaze classes.
So the interesting thing is this is actually the third phase of this.
Okay,
so
the Marvel universe.
it's just like that.
Yeah.
It's just like that. No. But there's a company called Campaign over in the UK.
Okay.
And they wrote about this because it's simultaneously being pushed out in the UK and in the US. So Peloton has their latest film, it's called a hero film, is Run It Off. And it shows a character using a breakup text as motivation to begin a running routine. So they're going to use this spot on TV. That's going to be a 30-second spot. And then they'll have like a 10-second version as well. At the huge. And they say that part of the reason that they did this is Joanna Lee, Senior Vice President, Global Consumer and Brand Marketing. She said, "We hear from our member community every single day about the life events that led them to our platform and how they were then able to achieve their goals through Peloton. And our latest hero film brings those stories to life, showing how we unite our members under a shared goal of achieving change." I mean, I do think that's true. Everybody has a why, and sometimes it is that simple. Yeah. Like, it's a thing. It's a little bit of a dark commercial, and the interesting thing is when I say dark, I don't mean...
Like visually.
Yes.
Yeah, the lighting it's dark.
Yeah, it's like the same person who filmed the show Silo.
Yeah, Apple TV. Their shows sometimes are very dark visually, where like we had to go and increase the brightness on
our
Silo
television
so we could see what was happening. It was so dark.
So dark.
Congratulations, Apple, you've invented radio.
I know, right? And this isn't that dark. It's just interesting because it is dark, and obviously everything creates a mood. You know, whether it's the music or the visuals, of course. And when you have the darkness, it's creating that mood. And I guess when you're getting broken up with, that is creating a mood of darkness.
It depends.
Well, that's true. that is true.
Sometimes you're like, okay, yeah, I'll take that deal.
But the commercial came out today in the UK and the US, so it's kind of everywhere now.
And it's also interesting because they have two versions of it, right? They have an American version and they have a British version. And in the British version, the voiceover is a British instructor versus an American instructor in the American version.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you remember which instructor was which?
I believe it was Alex Toussaint talking in the American one, and then it was, I assumed, Ben Aldis in the UK, or as they prefer to call it, the UCK.
The UCK, yeah.
In the UCK version of the ad. But again, I've never used any of the products.
Right.
So,
and you've only met Ben one time.
Yes.
So...
No, I meet him twice.
Did you meet him twice?
Because he was, Oh,
yeah. He was at that party in London.
He was at the when it wasn't Homecoming, but the World Tour wrap up that we went to in London.
Yes.
But we met him
way back in 2018.
Yeah, like they had been hired, but nobody knew who they were. So we were standing there talking to Ben and Leanne for like half an hour.
And nobody was trying to go and cut in.
And we were like, enjoy this.
Because it will be over soon.
Because it's not going to last long.
And it was true.
And we were like, in a year from now... No, you will be mobbed in a situation like this.
Now they have their own security team.
Yes. I think that's because of us, though.
It probably was.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So PSNY was closed this week for a water leak.
Yeah, I just thought this was funny. Because it was just so random. Like classes were like getting ready to start and they were like, just kidding, cancel.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 in a row that got canceled. And that sounds like a long period of time, but it probably wasn't as long as it feels because those classes kind of overlap a little bit.
That makes sense.
So they had to close for a couple hours because of the leak. And then it seems like that evening classes picked up as normal.
Are we sure it wasn't just somebody who was like really sweaty?
No, we're not sure. We're not. You know, I assumed that it was indeed a water leak because otherwise it's disgusting.
You're just taking them at their word.
Yeah, definitely.
So Peloton was celebrating like crazy this week. We have 3 in a row of different things they were celebrating. First up was over in the aforementioned UCK.
Yes.
It was Mother's Day.
It was Mother's Day, and I know that it's usually about a month earlier in the UK than it is here. But we actually were like, why is that? And the Hala explained. She went and did the Googles,
right?
And she explained to us that it's actually tied to I want to say moon phases or something, but I don't remember I already forgot what it was tied to. But it can change, and so sometimes it might be earlier in the month, and sometimes it might be later in the month. Oh,
so it's like Passover or Easter.
It is exactly like that.
It's not always on the third Sunday in April.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
I hate those kind of holidays.
I know, because you never know when they're going to happen.
I'm just I either tie to it's always the third something and whatever, or on a certain date, but this whole if Aquarius is rising, then no.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not that you hate the holidays, you just hate that they move on the calendar and you don't know that they're showing up.
I hate those sorts of holidays.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to, clarify.
And I feel like every religion has one.
Oh, lots of them.
Yeah,
there's multiples.
Judaism has Passover, Christians have Easter, which is directly tied to Passover because the Last Supper was Passover dinner. So that's why it moves around like that as well. But and then Ramadan, I believe, works like that. Diwali, I think, is also shifting in that regard. So,
well, speaking of Ramadan.
Hey, look at me with the segue.
Yeah.
Ramadan.
Also celebrating this week.
Yeah.
That's another one that changes, on the calendar.
Ramadan, a lot of people don't realize this, commemorates British mothers.
No.
Oh, no?
No,
Doesn't do that? Okay.
And the other thing about this, I don't know how to pronounce this, and I'm not even going to try because I'll just screw it up. But this week is the last part of Ramadan, and that's where the quote unquote celebration comes in. And so that that's where the classes are tied to. So there were 4 different classes that Peloton did to celebrate.
Eid Barak, something like that?
Sure.
Okay.
I seriously do not know. I should have listened to the Google tell me how to say it. But I didn't.
Yeah.
So I neglected to do that.
And then last but not least, Peloton was also celebrating Trans Day of Visibility.
Yeah, it's one day that people need to shut the fuck up. God damn. Can't people just celebrate and have a day?
It was saucy over in the OPP when you posted this.
I didn't know it was going to be so outrageous.
Really?
I really didn't.
Oh.
I didn't. To me,
you were just stating a fact. This is what they're doing.
I didn't think of it like I was starting something because I wasn't trying to start something.
Peloton had to shut down the comments.
Yeah.
When all you did was post,
This occurred. I said 2 classes happened today.
This officially sanctioned Peloton event is occurring, and they had to shut down the comments.
And it's like no matter how used to people being terrible that I get, I'm still surprised by their terribleness. It's outrageous. But regardless, Trans Day of Visibility occurred. I love that it occurred. I'm glad that Robin and Maddie had a class each, and they weren't live. They were both dropped on demand.
Yeah.
And then the other interesting, not interesting thing, but the concurrent thing that happened was Maddie's new book club. He was also being celebrated this week too, and that got a mention as well. So just wanted to make sure we put a plug in for that as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
We also have more store closures.
We do.
In Canoga Park, California, which that sounds like an old-timey horn. Canoga.
It does. Yeah.
Roseville, California, New York, Manhattan West, and Utah, Murray.
Yeah, so it's Murray, Utah. I just wrote it weird.
That's how I
wrote it that way because there's 17,000 lines.
I was wondering, I'm like, Utah, Murray. What a weird way to say that.
Murray, Utah.
Okay.
In my head, I knew what it was going to be, so I wasn't. Yeah, that's my bad.
Okay.
But yeah, so 4 locations this time. We talked about this the last time that there was a store closing, but I just want to reiterate that. Again, I'm pretty sure we're coming down to it's going to get rid of that Peloton is going to close all stores except for just a couple of flagships.
Right.
So again, I'm thinking it's going to be in that 3 to 5 range. There's been a lot of speculation too about other stores closing because some of the store managers for these stores have been posting that they're looking for jobs and a subtle
inclination, or indication.
Peloton's okay with it. They posted their well wishes and stuff on their LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's related to a store closing, which is why I'm not even going to say what those potential stores are, because I don't want to start anything.
Yeah.
But I just think that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
And it's just. I hate seeing this contraction of the company.
Yeah.
I understand it's necessary, but it sucks.
It does. If you have a Chase card, then I guess good news for you. They are extending Peloton perks through 2027.
Yeah, I thought that was great. It's going to go all the way through 2027. So that you're going to get all of the year. So it's December of 2027. So that's pretty cool. And if you're not sure what those are, you get up to 10 points per $1 spent on Peloton purchases. And if you have one of those Chase Sapphire Reserve cards, you also can get a maximum of 50,000 points. And if you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, you get 5 times of points on eligible Peloton bike, tread, and row purchases up to 25,000. So it's pretty cool.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah. Plus, they have all those special little classes you get too. They don't mention that.
Oh yeah, that's right. And finally, a Clip Out exclusive: the revelation of Bike Plus Plus.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, this one, people really seem to like this one. This was our April Fool's Day joke this year.
It was
about Peloton releasing its first ever tandem bike entitled Bike Plus Plus.
And I was really surprised how friendly people were over on the OPP, because it can be such a shit show.
That was a nice reversal of fortune.
It was.
I guess since the bike is not trans,
it's okay.
We were safe.
It's so funny because there's so many people that are into Peloton that have no idea, number one, what a podcast is, or number two, that we exist, or if number three, even if they understand that we exist, they don't really get our relationship, which is non-existent with Peloton.
Yeah.
Like, we don't rely on Peloton, it's not really a relationship. So there's all these funny comments over there, like, oh, is Olivia behind this one? No. Oh, Peloton strikes again.
Yeah.
No,
it's me and you.
Just us. It's just really funny to me, and I know that we ask like every week for you guys to like share an episode or follow, but like that's why people are so they have no idea that we exist. Even though I post all the time on the OPP. That's just a funny aside, but their attitude was really funny. People there, and I was so shocked how many people thought it was real.
I know.
I was like, no, man. Like, are you serious?
Like who would want that?
I know. Somebody was like, oh my gosh, they're going to sell so many of these. I was like, I don't think that they would. And then another person, and it sounded very serious, is like, all this is going to do is take up more room. And I was like, wow. And it's also funny to me how many people don't know how to use Facebook. Like, they don't know that the link that I include goes to an article which clearly lays out all the details, including the April Fool's portion.
Including telling you that it's not true.
Exactly.
Yes,
so all of that is amusing to me. But we had a lot of fun with this. And a special thank you to Matt Reedy for creating that amazing graphic. I just wanted to say that we are hoping to have an article out later this week that is going to also be a roundup of all of the instructor pranks, because there were many.
Oh, sweet.
Many of them, but we didn't have time to get it for today.
For sure.
Yeah. Look for that. It's going to be fun.
And coming up after this, we have Instructors in the News. We're going to talk about Camila's new podcast and Katie Wong's pickleball partner. So stick around.
Instructors in the News.
So Camila Ramon has launched a new podcast. Mm-hmm. You might not realize it's her because it says Cami.
It does.
And Melly.
Yes.
And it's called Hasta Abajo. I'm assuming, that means the podcast is Spanish language? I
would assume, and that is assumed because I have not had a chance to listen to this.
Yeah.
So Camila is bilingual.
Right.
And so I would be pretty sure this is going to be, but I don't know that for a fact. Yeah. And they're both of the hosts. So she's co-hosting it with former pro soccer player and Olympian Melissa Ortiz. And they're going to talk about all things Latina athletes and entrepreneurs face. So I think that'll be super interesting.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna talk about mental health, body image, the pressure of failure to the power of mindset, music as therapy, realities of Latinidad. I don't even think I said that correctly. And then they're going to have special guests from entrepreneurs, influencers, inspiring artists, fellow athletes. So I'm sure that means Peloton instructors, other Peloton instructors will be on there.
Probably.
And since Melissa Ortiz is a former pro soccer player, very possible we're going to see people from that world too. So that's pretty cool.
And I believe the title translates into something like down there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, and I said I haven't listened to it yet. I couldn't have listened to it yet because the podcast is supposed to start late in March. Oh, hey, we're in April.
We're in April, so
I thought we were still in March. Oh boy. Oh boy.
we just talked about an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, you'd think that would have been
But
pretty
that's
clear.
okay.
Yeah, no, it's fair. That's fair. I deserve all the jokes for that one.
And I will also say, if you Google this podcast, there is another podcast with this same name that did like 6 episodes and went away.
That happens a lot.
Happens a lot.
Podcast fatigue is a thing.
Yeah, and so like I can't tell what that's about. It looked like it was kind of party driven.
Okay.
And
so make sure you see the one. The cover art is a large picture of Melly and Cammy.
Yeah.
So you'll know. You'll know you're in the
but
right
if you see
place.
another one with like a cartoon image, that's not them.
Okay. Good to know.
Katie Wong and Rad Lopez, we found out this week, are pickleball partners.
I think that's just adorable.
Yeah.
First of all, the two of them together, they're both just so cute. And so I think that's really fun.
I thought this video was interesting. I watched it. I don't know if you actually watched the whole thing. I did because I have a commitment to the show that apparently you don't.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Right.
We each do our own thing.
Okay.
So she was also saying that her fiance's last name is Lopez. And so she's like, it would be funny. She's like, I'm debating on if I should take his last name or not. She's like, I was thinking it would be funny to just not say anything, and one day I'm Katie Lopez and people would think that like Rad and I got married or I stole his last name.
That's amazing.
She's like, it would just confuse the living hell out of people.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
And that video was also shared via Katie's besties, so I appreciate, because I think it came directly from a class, like a pre-show.
Yeah,
and so
like
they
snagged
shared that.
it. Yeah. Cody Rigsby has a big feature this month in GQ magazine.
He sure does.
That's a big one.
It is. This title though, like the title of their article, what are people trying to do? They say that the real life diet of Peloton instructor Cody Rigsby, whose philosophy is protein over everything. Really? It's so weird.
I feel like that headline was written specifically
for SEO.
For SEO.
I know.
Because they know people are typing in Cody Rigsby diet. What does Cody Rigsby eat?
So true. But
even GQ
everybody needs the clicks.
Has to bow down to the gods of SEO.
Well, yeah, because you can't get anything printed these days because it costs too much.
Yeah.
Everything's dead. Print is dead. It's all online.
Sad but true.
Yeah.
Peloton artist collaborations.
So we thought we would give you a quick overview of all the artist series that will be coming up in the month of April.
You need to plan ahead.
Yes, so you can set your calendars accordingly. First up is Miranda Lambert.
Yeah, so I didn't know she had a new album out, but that makes sense. I haven't been really in a country place for a while, but I do love me some Miranda Lambert. I will probably be visiting this class.
And then we have Pitbull.
Oh, sorry. I didn't scroll far enough. Yeah, Pitbull. And I thought we just had one of these not too long ago. So that must have been something else.
I think it was like we saw it pop up on the schedule and we talked about it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Got it.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I thought there would be more. I thought there'd be like one a week, and I thought we were going to be getting 2 more.
It's possible that we will, because sometimes they'll just kind of like
sneak them in on you.
Sneak them in, but right now they're not showing up on the studio list. Now I will say they tend to show up about 2 weeks ahead of time. So the names, they'll say like artist or they'll say like the name of the class, but they won't say the artist until about 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see those pop up next week.
I'll just make up artist series.
Oh, okay. Who are you going to make up?
The
Cure.
Kanye West and Gary Glitter.
Oh, well, that would be interesting. Yeah.
It's for the people that complain about all the woke stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just give them completely canceled people to take.
Well, it would have been a good April Fool's joke.
We'll file that away for next year.
Yeah.
Peloton Celebrity Sightings.
Country music's Jordan Davis made a special in-studio appearance at Peloton.
He did, and one of our listeners actually sent pictures because they were in the class, and they got to take a picture with the instructor and Jordan Davis.
Oh, that's cool that he stuck around and did that.
Yeah, that was really nice. I thought that was cool.
Country people are like that, though.
They are.
Yeah.
They are, for real. We have a picture with Jordan Davis.
Yeah, we met him. He played the arena where I work, and we took a picture with him.
Yeah.
We got that somewhere. Should we put that in the Patreon?
I don't know. I don't know that anybody would really care.
Also true.
He was a nice guy, though.
I mean, we met him for like as long as it took to take that picture.
Listen, Nate Roos from Fun. We also only met him for 10 seconds, and he was so rude.
Yeah.
I did not know that your eyes could say that much disdain that quickly.
Yeah, he did not want to be there.
No. Now,
John Resnick, on the other hand.
Oh,
from
delightful.
Gouda, is delightful. And a Peloton user.
Yeah.
Or at least he used to be. I'm assuming he still is, but I don't know.
Once you start, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, Jordan Davis. And his big song, I was looking it up because I couldn't remember, was Singles You Up.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
And Buy Dirt.
I don't remember that one. I don't remember.
I think you'd know it if you heard it. It's a pretty big one. It was him and Luke Bryan, I think. And then Slow Dance in a Parking Lot.
Yeah. Also not familiar.
Yeah.
But this kind of kicks off the new installment of the Country Happy Hour.
Okay.
So we're going to be seeing guests probably every week. I don't know if they'll be in class every week, but like they'll be kind of focused on different artists. So we have that to look forward to as well.
Okay.
And maybe that's why we only have a couple of artist series, because that's happening this month.
I
and
see.
so maybe they're kind of
alternate.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's hard to say.
And coming up after this, if you're trying to figure out which classes to take, well, we gotcha. We're going to talk all about the content that needs to be on your list of things to do, or at least under consideration. So we'll be hitting all that right after this.
New content.
It is time for the TCO Top 5, where I struggle to describe it accurately, and then Crystal gives me a weird look.
Yeah, that's usually right.
Yeah. Can I get a weird look? Okay, now give me a weird one. Okay, now how about a weird one?
I don't know. I can't do this on demand. My face just speaks for itself.
Oh, that it does.
I have no ability to control it.
That it does. Okay, number 1, your favorite ride.
Okay, the favorite ride this week was the live DJ ride that Matt Wilpers taught. And of course, DJ John Michael was there. So Kimberly Ray Jessup said that it was so fun to see Matt and DJ John Michael both a little bit outside of their comfort zone. And she said DJ John Michael congratulating Matt for staying up until 11 p.m. to party with the DJ on his vacation was great. What a great story.
Yeah. Number 2, your favorite walk.
This was taught by Jocelyn Thompson Rule. It was a 15-minute 90s walk, and it was taught back on January 27th of this year. And Karen Smith nominated this class. She said, Jocelyn is quickly becoming one of my favorite instructors. Her sense of humor and innuendos always have me giggling. Me too. And this class was no exception.
Well, if they like innuendos,
they're in the right place.
they're listening to the right podcast. Number 3, your favorite bike boot camp.
Well, Rad Lopez, this was his first.
I believe it's Rad Wong now.
Oh, they just traded names?
Just swapped them.
He taught a 45-minute bike boot camp on March 25th. And Carrie Pickett Martin said she was so happy to see a new instructor teaching these classes. She loved his programming for the class, and she can't wait to see more from Rad.
Number 4, your favorite yoga class.
Okay, so Dennis Morton taught this class on March 27th of this year, and it was a 20-minute morning slow flow. Mindy Jensen recommended the class, saying, as Dennis states in the introduction, instead of taking off like a rocket in the morning, or in my case, sitting on the couch all Sunday morning, we ease into things. This class hits all the right stops to get you loosened up for the day.
And finally, the class you dare not stack It's your favorite unstackable.
Unstackable. So this class was taught by Adrienne Williams back in November of 24, and it's a 30-minute glutes and legs. And Katie Bromley nominated this class. She said it's definitely unstackable. She said this class had her in a puddle by the end. It started off with a nice little warm-up and then lunges upon lunges. So if you're looking for a leg class to punish, I mean, push yourself, this is the one. Hate leg day. It's necessary, but dang, I hate it.
Never skip it.
Never skip.
That's the beauty of the tonal programs.
It's true.
Is you just do what's next.
And then you don't skip.
You can't skip leg day because they make you do them.
It's true.
We will now take a look at this week at Peloton.
We will, yeah. So on Monday, March 31st, Kirsten Ferguson hosted 30-minute NBA season finale run class at 12 p.m. Eastern. And she had a special guest. It was Rudy Gay, who's a retired NBA star. And he first joined her on the treadmill, but then hopped over on Instagram. And they did some selfies and posed in front of the Peloton Studios New York logo. And they had a great time.
And what else do we have this week? We got Dance Music Bar.
Yeah, so this is taught by Allie Love, and it's a 20-minute dance music bar class. It was on April 1st, and I think that we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but they've kind of reimagined all the names for the bar classes.
Okay.
So this is the first iteration of that we're seeing.
Okay, and we have a form fixture row, which I think we talked about last week.
We talked about form fixture rows. Those are going to be coming out weekly. But this week's guest was Rad Lopez. So wanted to make sure we mentioned that as well.
For sure. And then Advanced Beginner. You know I love Advanced Beginner.
Yes. And we did talk about this last week as well. These beginner flows are going to be happening on Sundays. So this is the first one, I believe, or maybe it's the second one, April 6th at 9:30 a.m.
Also, Peloton has a little something for the night owls.
And the West Coasters. That is very exciting.
For them, it's not night.
No.
At that point.
So because this is a 9 p.m. Eastern class, and that's interesting. It's going to be a ride with Dennis. So that doesn't happen often to have a 9 p.m. Eastern. And hopefully that'll be helpful for all those people that do take classes on the West Coast. Maybe they can actually take it live. Because that'll be 6 p.m. for them.
Do you think that's specifically geared to them? Why? That seems odd to do a class that late.
Well, keep in mind, it's spring. They just changed all the classes. So this could be a regular thing we're going to see every week now, something in that time slot. Maybe it'll only be once or twice a week, but I suspect that could be the case. And if it is, then yes, I do believe that it is geared toward the West Coasters and just people who like to take later classes in general.
Yeah.
Because if you take your classes at night, there's nothing live. You're just not going to have anything live. I mean, I gave up on live classes forever, years at this point. I might take one live class a month if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are in that boat. So, I also think that some of the classes that were happening really early in the morning for row classes got moved to the night time. They are not as late as this, but they are in the evening as well. So I think they're kind of trying to switch it up.
Yeah.
It's always going to be tough to please everybody because there's so many time zones that you're trying to accommodate.
Sure.
But I think that when we see those changes twice a year, I think that is Peloton's way of trying to kind of give something for everybody, more of a scattered shot approach. It's not going to work for everybody, but it also is better than not even trying.
Sure. Yeah.
Some people forget that.
So outdoor live runs have been rebranded as the Weekly Run Club.
They have. And a couple things about this. So first of all, those live outdoor runs just started a couple of months ago. They were brand new. We've only had maybe 5 of them. So now they're going to be on the schedule every Saturday. So that's every single week on Saturdays. So the idea is that you can run with all your friends live. That's the idea of it. Now, remember that the UK has a run club that they do in person.
Okay.
It's usually I think it's about once a month that they all get together and run, and they're able to actually run around London together. A lot harder to do here. I think that's because of the instructor schedule. So this is one way to kind of address that. You can't, it's harder to do in the middle of Manhattan.
For sure.
So I think that that's part of how they're addressing this. I also think that it's fun for people who want to take live classes and they want to take an outdoor class, like you can still get a high five when you're doing this. You can't do that if you just take an outdoor class. So that's kind of fun to do. But yeah, weekly is the big note here that we're going to have. And Bex Gentry is doing the next one. She will be teaching the next outdoor class. That'll be her first outdoor live class.
So bar and Pilates classes are getting a refresh.
They are. So alluded to this a little bit earlier, but yeah, they all have new names. So they're going to start with 6 upcoming on-demand class drops. And these are going to drop between April 2nd and April 8th. And you're going to see things like Power, Express, and Sculpt. So you're going to see a lot of different ones, but they're all bar and Pilates. Like they're the same classes, but they're kind of like rebranding how they're listed. So you can kind of have a better idea of what kind of class
what you're
getting
in for.
Into. Exactly.
Yeah. And while we're talking about Pilates, we have a new Pilates program for people. Well, we don't, but Peloton does.
Peloton does. That is true. Peloton. It's called Discover Pilates with Mila, and it is 4 classes that you do over a week. So that is all in German. We have a similar one that is done in English. So this is specifically in German language.
Gotcha. Strength Plus now lets you build your own workout.
Yeah, they do. So it's a brand new feature. You can go to the generator and now you can choose exactly what exercises you want to add. So you can have your perfect workout and you create it from scratch instead of just having basically AI generate it for you. So sometimes it's kind of like Spotify. Sometimes you want to build your own list. Sometimes you want to have more of a Pandora-esque where it just builds it for you. So this allows you to do both.
Sometimes you just don't feel like you know. Like that's how I would be. I don't know what I'm doing, so you tell me what to do.
Exactly.
So what I'm paying you $15 a month for.
It's only $9.99.
Well,
and it's actually included in your all access.
They would make me pay more.
They probably would. Yeah. You'd be like, this guy.
After all the things I've said about them. Peloton has partnered with Armada Music for EDM classes.
Yeah, you might remember that they had a residency, I think it was in December in the UK.
Yeah.
And they had done, it was a small residency. And this version of it is going to be Armin van Buuren's Armada Music for an exclusive DJ residency, and they're going to have guest artists. So there's going to be Arty, A-R-T-Y. There's also going to be, it's probably pronounced like A-R-T-Y instead of Arty. Yeah.
We're old.
Oh, it's so old.
And we don't listen to the Edam music. It's not our thing.
There's also going to be a live DJ dance cardio with Emma on April 3rd. And then there's going to be a live DJ ride with Olivia that same day at 7 p.m. And so this partnership is going to be at PSNY and is going to be at London. And it's supposed to last all of 2025. So we will be seeing a bunch of these classes. So we have that to look forward to.
In case you missed it.
Peloton apparel now has a new fabric.
They do. It's a different fabric that's called Paceform. It has a lot of compression. It has 4-way stretch, and it's moisture wicking. They also released this week a bunch of clothes specific to running. And so I wanted to mention, I felt like it was important to also mention that as that line came out, they have new bras that have like a closure that you can make completely custom, as opposed to just sliding it over your head. These bras work more like a traditional bra or like a high impact running bra where you can change the straps, but you can also change the one that goes around your chest.
Okay.
That's a huge difference for runners who need a lot of support.
That makes sense.
Huge. Yeah. And they also came out with a brand new running skirt, and it is also from, both of those things are from this new performance material. And I have to give a shout out to Susie Chan because she helped design the skirt, and I thought that was really cool.
That is cool. So this fabric, is this just a certain line of clothes that has this fabric, or will this become their default fabric on Peloton branded apparel?
So it will not be default because they already have 4 different kinds of fabrics.
Oh, okay.
So like they have their Cadent fabric, they have their like Dream Blend fabric. This is being added to that lineup.
Okay.
So this is going to be the Pace Form. So this is going to be specific for the performance gear that you might want to do for running, as opposed to, you may not want to wear that kind of bra for, like, I don't know, lifting weights in the basement or something. But that would be important to you if you wanted to go run. So it's like different fabrics for different sports uses is the idea.
Awesome.
Peloton birthdays.
This week we have 3 birthdays.
April is getting popular.
It is. Not as popular as whatever April -9 is.
Facts.
Yeah. So, or at least was.
Right.
Yeah, maybe it's changed.
I don't know.
Who knows? Birthday number 1, Jermaine Johnson on April 5th. Allie Love on April 6th. And former Peloton instructor Jennifer Jacobs on April 7th.
Well, happy birthday to Jermaine, Allie, and Jennifer. That's funny that 2 JJs have birthdays.
Oh, yeah.
I never realized that before.
How about that? So I guess that is it for this one. Until next week, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can also find me on Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, and the Peloton leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/The Clip Out. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our Patreon. $5 a month. You get all sorts of bonus content. We get them early, you get them early, and you get ad-free episodes. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep pedaling.
And running.
And rowing.
Bye.
Clip in, set yourself free.